Hello and welcome to The Previews. My name is Raeshelle Cooke and welcome to episode 3 of the second season and coincidentally our 10th episode. So if you've been sticking with us this long, thank you so much. Thank you for the support, watching all the views with all these independent filmmakers who come on my show. And if this is your first time watching it, then welcome. Because we have Raeshelle Cooke here in the studio from RMC Pictures. Raeshelle, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much, Raeshelle, for inviting me. Really glad to be here.
Mm-hmm. All right, so how did you first get started in the industry?
I want to credit my old college for that. I went to Bridgewater State University first, and even though I was a communication major, I took a lot of film classes, like beginning videography, I think it was, and the teacher really encouraged all the students in the class to create a film and submit it into Campus Movie Festival. So that was the first step. So I created a film with some people. It was like my first 2 films, which are student films. They're not really good, but that's how it goes sometimes.
It's a build.
Yeah. So it was A Sister's Bond and What's the Problem with Bill Weiner. So we just created that for Campus Movie Festival. I didn't get in the first time, but then the next year I got in. The next 2 years I got in, and I made it to the top 16 out of 44 films.
Nice.
So.
Well, congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
All right. So you started RMC Pictures, and that's based off of like your name as well. So under that production company, what films have you made?
Monae's Room, On Her Way, sometime around January, Mount Washington. I'm trying to think if I missed anything. Last Words, and then some music videos that I've done also. Right.
And even speaking of music videos, one that you released recently on your Facebook page, Sedentary Lifestyle, and you had that being a collaboration with an upcoming short film called Concrete. Like, how did that collaboration come about?
Actually, it's a feature film that my friend Dominique LaFleur is doing. She wrote it, and she's looking to get the film made. And basically, she just contacted me because she knows that I'm into hip hop music. She knows that I'm into the Black issues of today. She knows I support it. So she was like, she's also worked with me because she's acted in 2 of my short films, sometime around January and Last Words. So. I guess she felt the way that I did, that we work really well together. So she asked me to create a music video for it. And I loved the song, absolutely loved it. It was awesome. It was the first time she's ever rapped or written.
Wow, it's really impressive.
It is. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So I was really happy to work on this video with her.
And it's an awesome song with like a really good message, as you said, to an effort that also like is great to like do something that you love and also like something that you believe in, and then having those like come together. Like, I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you said that you started RMC Pictures like around like 3 years, and as like a new filmmaker, like what's been your experience with film festivals?
Well, I think that I've been lucky in film festivals because I know that there are tons of filmmakers out there that make films and submit to film festivals, and a lot of them don't get in, a lot of them don't get awards and things like that. So for me, I've gotten into quite a few film festivals with a few of my films, and I've also been really lucky to have won 2 awards. So that was really great. Monae's Room, one of my first short films, that won Best Newcomer at the Shauna Shea Film Festival a year or 2 back, and then that same film also won at Stories by the River Film Festival. It won Best Genre Blend, which, because they said they've never seen a film like that before.
Right.
That mixes music and spoken word. It's not a traditional film.
Right.
None of my films are. And
that's awesome.
I was very appreciative to be recognized for the fact that this isn't like, normal films.
Right. See, like when I was watching Monae's Room, I was thinking like, oh, it's like you have like the music, you have like the spoken word, and it was always like, in a sense too, like artsy, and then kind of had like elements of like film noir in there, which is really interesting. So like definitely like genre blend. Like I will give that to you for Monae's Room.
Definitely.
So also to talk about like other ones of your films too, in a blog post that you wrote a little while back, you said that you like making films about people's addictions. Can you expand upon that?
Yes. So a lot of the films that I make are about women coping with breakups. And a lot of people, every time they see my films, they ask me, why do you always make films about women coping with breakups and stuff like that? You know, as if I'm not supposed to make films about this. But, so I'm always like, I don't know. It's just something I'm interested in doing. Different directors make films about different things because it's what they're interested in. Another thing is I'm very intrigued by the human psyche. You know, I'm very intrigued by our inner conflict after a relationship has ended, after like an important relationship has ended and we're grieving. I really am interested in things like that. And what I've also learned throughout this process in making films and writing these stories and these characters is we can be addicted to another human being. And that's the reason why it's so difficult for us to let go of a person. I'm inspired by a lot of filmmakers in the community, and a lot of the filmmakers, they make films about really daunting, serious stuff.
Right.
It's not fun, it's not light, and I kind of follow the same path.
Right.
So I like to make films about people's addictions, but it's not drug addictions, because I believe that people can be addicted without being addicted to drugs or alcohol or things like that. You can be addicted to another human being. That's what Monae's Room was about. It really makes you messed up, and it's some serious stuff. So it's also very therapeutic to write about that. I write a lot of different stuff.
Right.
Like I write a ton of scripts. It's just that the stuff that I choose to actually make into films are about love, and they're musical and they're dark. That's basically my expertise. That's my style. Like everybody has their styles. When you see a film, oh, I know who that is. You know, that's me. And I'm gonna make more films about other things.
Of course.
I'm totally inspired by the Twilight Zone. I'm into current issues and things like that. So I'm going to do that, but this is what I enjoy most. And if, some people don't like it, then maybe they should make their own films.
Right. And you said that you are inspired by filmmakers, and that helps you the kind of style that you write in, the kind of things that you shoot. But is there anything else that influences those things?
Music definitely influences my films, namely Drake. If people don't know, he's a hip hop artist. He's huge, but I loved Drake before he got huge and mainstream.
Same.
I was down with him before all that. Because for me, it's not about the pop music he's doing now and the mainstream and all that. I'm not into all that stuff. I like the dark music on some of his older albums, where he's, it's really dark. The music is very vivid. It's emotional. It's about his personal heartache and stuff like that. And he has interludes. That's what my films are inspired by. Those interludes on those albums. I love those interludes. And the next short film that I'm gonna do is going to be called His Interlude. And it's gonna be like Monae's Room, which was also inspired by a Drake song.
Right.
So mainly hip hop music and also Japanese music.
Oh, interesting.
The kind of music you hear in video games and PC games. Like On Her Way was inspired by a Japanese song. So yeah.
Interesting. And I remember before the actual interview started too, Lemonade you said was also
Lemonade.
influence.
Oh my gosh. That movie was awesome. Yeah, Lemonade is, because right now I've just been doing short films, and I want to get, and at the time I was like, I want to get into features, but I don't know what I would make into a feature, because I'm passionate about these little musical short stories that I do, but I can't. But at the time I was thinking, I can't make this into a feature, so what am I gonna do? And then I saw Lemonade, and I was like, yeah.
That's it.
That's it. It's funny because I was like, I did Lemonade before Beyonce did it. Just the short stories, the love stories, the spoken word. I was like, that's me.
It's like Queen Bee actually like throw something my way.
Exactly. So my next, I know what my next feature is gonna be.
Okay.
I'm not gonna make the traditional feature. That's not my thing.
So like the feature film that you're trying to aspire to make, can you like describes like what you at this moment think like a Raeshelle Cooke feature film would be?
It would be basically a collection of short stories, and the theme would be love and coping with loss. And basically, you would follow these different women. In most of my films, they're Black women. I like to empower Black women in my films, so you would follow these different Black women, and there would be short stories about how they're coping with their loss. So it would be Monae's room, where you're like you're nutty, you're obsessive, very dark. And then it would go to more healthy, like Mount Washington, where you're not as dark, like you're coming out of it, you know.
Right.
And then it would be another film where maybe you've met somebody and you're happy and you've forgotten the old guy. So then my feature film is going to be a collection of short stories surrounding one theme, and it's going to be musical. It's going to have poetry and all that. So.
All right, that sounds awesome. I can't wait to actually like hear that. Oh, Raeshelle Cooke's like news feature, like it's up there on your page. I'm like, let me go watch it. You know, like maybe it's like, oh, better than Lemonade, like Beyonce, who like this is like,
Gosh.
oh, like we need Raeshelle Cooke for like the next film.
Wow, that would be so awesome. Like I absolutely love Lemonade. She really inspired me to make a feature with that film. Like, so I just want to thank Beyonce and her team for making that. Like, she's really inspired a lot of people. It was awesome.
That's awesome. So can you tell us a little bit more about the preview that we're about to see?
So this is my latest short film called Mount Washington, and we're just gonna see a preview of it. It's basically a story about a woman who is pressured to leave her room by her roommate to join a party that's happening outside of her room, but the uphill battle is that her ex is also going to be there. You know, so that's basically what the film's about.
We'll actually take it to this preview of Mount Washington by Raeshelle Cooke.
Hey, roomie. Listen, I'm sorry I invited John to our party. I didn't know you guys had broken up. But you have to understand it's my apartment too, and he's a mutual friend of ours, so please, when you get here, try to be cordial. Thanks. You know how important this party is to Cassie. So we'll see you out here soon. I just got your text. What the hell do you mean I knew you guys were broken up? You've been lying up in that room for what, months now? How was I supposed to know what was going on with you? It's not like he's the only one that will be in the kitchen. We will all be in the kitchen. Okay, listen, you little brat. If you don't come out and stop being rude, I'm going to knock down that door, I'm going to grab you by your hair, and I'm going to drag your butt out. I'm giving you until 10 to get up and get yourself together. Starting now. Bye.
And welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that preview, Mount Washington by Raeshelle Cooke. Raeshelle, thank you so much for being here.
Thank
I know
you.
it was hot. I know like traffic on the way from Taunton was just like, whoa, but like I'm just so glad that you made it down here.
No problem. Thanks for asking me to be here.
Yeah, no problem. Like obviously trying to get like as many talented independent filmmakers as I can for the show for the second season, so it was great. So if someone wants to get in contact with you, or even just wants to see your projects in general, like where are the places that they can go?
Well, I have multiple social media sites. So first you can go to my Facebook page, RMC Pictures. You can go there and send me a message. You can look at the work that I'm doing, the latest updates that I have of any new music videos or any new films. I also have my personal website, RaeshelleCooke.com. You can also send me a message there. Let me see. And also my Vimeo site, where you can look at all of my films and music videos. That's more so video related. So yeah, those are basically the sites.
Awesome. All right. And stay tuned for the next episode of The Previews.